When Joy was announced for this McDonald's campaign, the backlash was immediate. But here's the real question: does she actually even have a final say in stuff like this? Today we're talking about the Joy McDonald's campaign controversy. Before we start, I would like to say that this is not a political video. This isn't a history lesson either. I'm only going to be mainly talking about this whole, idol versus company, like, imbalance that exists in the K-pop game, I guess you could call it, and the fact that all of the anger is being put towards Joy, which is a bit unfair, but at the same time, I do understand she is supposed to be the face of the campaign, and the whole problem started around last month. I did want to talk about it back then, but I couldn't because I had exams. But on, I think, like January 30th or something like that, they posted a trailer, which I'll probably put up while I'm editing this, of Joy basically being part of the Choco Churros campaign, I think it was from McDonald's. And because of the Palestine situation, and McDonald's has been part of the boycott for a long time, since like last year. McDonald's, Starbucks, I think there was Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and stuff like that. They have been basically boycotted or have been in the have been one of the part of the boycott. Sorry, I'm stuttering a bit. This is not scripted, so I'm just kind of talking myself. So people were pissed off, and then I think SM and even from Joy's Instagram it was deleted. But yesterday they posted the campaign again, and people were basically angry again, talking about, why are you posting this? Basically blaming Joy for the most part. That's why I wanted to make this video, because, and again, if you are angry at Joy, I understand. I'm not going to be like, hey, you should stop blaming Joy. She should have the independence to choose what brands to work with. But in the idol game, or this whole idol system, she doesn't really have that much say, so we can't really do much about it. And really the main focus of this video is how much power idols have over these sort of corporate endorsements. Now, why people are upset, I already talked about. McDonald's and other companies are being boycotted because of the Palestine situation, because McDonald's is related to Israel, and they've also made a few videos with IDF soldiers and stuff like that. And yeah, people are pissed off about it, which is totally fair. I am pretty pissed off about it myself, that they used someone like Joy to do this, putting Red Velvet in the crosshair of this sort of bullshit. People obviously feel like Joy should be aware of it. I've seen a lot of comments, people saying you should educate yourself on this, which is again fair. I'm not saying that that's a wrong take. And she promoted a boycotted brand within, while an active boycott was happening, which makes it seem like she's endorsing the Israeli government, or the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces. And fans expect that, the idols should reflect the fans' values, which is again fair. You see them as idols, so you want them to reflect the types of things like you believe in. And I will tell you this, before people get pissed off and start calling me like a red velvet, like I'm glazing red velvet. I am not. I'm talking about the structural problem. I'm not here to talk about, oh yeah, Joy didn't do anything wrong. Red Velvet can't do anything wrong. They can all do wrong, okay? I will get to that later on. I will use an example later on. Now we get into the main point of the video, how K-pop endorsements actually work. First point that I'm going to go through is company first, idol second. Deals are usually negotiated by the agencies, in this case, SM, and not the idols. The idols are usually not present in the meetings that, they have with the brands, which kind of already puts them in like a limbo, because they don't really have a say in this. They just get told like, hey, you're supposed to do this, go do it, we'll get money, I guess. And obviously, companies like SM, they prioritize money, they prioritize brand exposure and partnerships, not what people think, because there is literally an active boycott going on, and they put one of the Red Velvet members, while some of the other SM idols have actually shown support for Palestine. Some members from like NCT, I think even EXO, uh, so they don't really care about what your personal opinion is. Because you're an asset within the system. You're just a small cog that they can use to just get money, basically. Next point is limited agency. Joy is not an independent influencer. She does not negotiate her own business deals. I can use myself as an example. If I was, told by like a gambling website or something, since those are very popular nowadays, and they told me we'll give you X amount of money if you play on our website and, you know, endorse us. I, as an independent person, I can say no. Joy does not have that. She does not have that power. She is under a very big label. Well, they're literally part of the big three: SM, JYP, and Hybe. She's under SM, and SM is very, as I said before, very strict on stuff like this, from what I know. I'm just making an educated guess. But they're not lenient in stuff like this, because I've seen how fucking, like, shitty SM can be with their idols. Like, they've make them have, like, surgeries and stuff like that. Like, you have to fit the mold of the most perfect lady on, planet Earth, based on the Korean, like, beauty standards and stuff like that. So she definitely did not negotiate this brand endorsement, but she is responsible for her image, but not the corporate pipeline. But the corporate pipeline, as I just said, does not care about how she looks to the people. Like, the public image she is getting from this, they don't really care about that. They just only really care about the money. Next point is not powerless, not fully powerful. She is an adult, so she should be able to have free will to say no to stuff like this. But again, as I said, compliance is almost mandatory in this sense, because that's just how idols are also made. They are literally groomed to be this way. They are literally made to be kind of just compliant to their managers, their everything, basically. Everyone that works at SM that is above them. But she does not have the executive level decision power either. And there is a big difference between participation and the architectural side of it, like I'm talking about right now. You are only seeing Joy, you're not seeing the people behind the, brand endorsement and the people that actually made the deal with McDonald's. That's why it's easier to throw, rocks at Joy and call her a bad person. And I mean, to be honest, I didn't really see any comments that were like outright saying you're such a fucking bad person. The majority of people were just like, I'm hurt that you're doing this and you should educate yourself, which is a fair point. I personally think that the K-pop idols should be allowed to, voice their concerns and also voice their opinions on stuff like this, like brand deals and stuff like this. But she does not have that power, which is the problem within the whole culture, which is why I'm making this video. And again, I'm not gonna say Joy is a saint. She is not. She is part of something that probably shouldn't have involved her, but again, she doesn't have enough power to do anything about it. Now, there is a difference between this and a personal controversy. She did not personally say, I support IDF or I support, the Israeli government on, everything they're doing in Gaza and the West Bank. She is just fulfilling a brand contract. If she said something like that, that would be totally her fault. But in this case, since we're talking about corporate endorsements, these are a lot more layered, as I talked about. Like, for example, let's use Wendy's situation. She said something racist a few years back. I think it was like 2018 or something like that. She said stuff about black people, mocking them, and she said stuff like she doesn't like the way black people talk, and like she finds black girls annoying or something like that, their attitudes annoying or something like that. I personally think that is straight up her fault. That is her fault. But this isn't the same thing, because it is not Joy saying, hey, I support the IDF and Israel on everything they're doing in Gaza. She is just fulfilling a contract that wasn't even really signed by her. It was done by the executives above her that run SM and all of this stuff. Because she's not part of, as I said, not part of the architectural side of things. She is just the face of the campaign. Now we're just going to get into the last few things I want to talk about. I think that supporting this boycott is valid. Obviously, I myself am a Palestine supporter. I genuinely do not like what Israel has been doing in Palestine for such a long time. Being angry about this is also valid, but I do think that the accountability should be properly targeted towards the corporate side of things. The anger should be put on SM, not Joy, because Joy is, again, she's just a small cog in a big machine, and she is just the face of the campaign. She's not the one making all these deals. She's not an independent model working for these companies. She is an idol under a very big label, which has a very big place in the K-pop scene. And as I said before, compliance is almost mandatory, so she doesn't really have that much of a say in this case. But we do need to make the criticisms hit the right people, because I think if we criticize the right people, we can definitely make real impact on it. And as I said, majority of people have just said stuff like, you should educate yourself, or I saw one in Korean saying, I have been a big fan of you, and like, you kind of hurt my feelings, which is, again, fair. I myself, when I saw this shit, I was like, what the fuck? This is kind of weird thing to do with, Red Velvet members. Like, you're already putting Red Velvet kind of in the sideline. SM has kind of stopped caring about Red Velvet for a while, but doing this feels like another, like, kick to the face for us Revelovs. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Hope this video wasn't like, this might be a little bit controversial, but I just wanted to put my, like, what I think about it. If you think differently, I am totally fine with that. I do not have a problem with you having a different opinion. I just wanted to put out the things that I think personally is the actual problem, and this is kind of a problem that the whole K-pop scene has. It's not just SM or anything like that. It's just that, idols they have to be compliant, or else they're basically, in a way, slaves to these corporations, which is really just depressing, to be honest, because they're groomed to be like this, which is just sad. But yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Next video won't be anything like this. I'll probably talk about the Irene comeback, since it's properly confirmed now. But yeah, that's the end of the video. See you guys in the next one.